their proposed increase of property tax by 22% for the Tuscaloosa City school system. The increase in taxes would fund the Tuscaloosa City school system for decades and raise more than $17 million in new revenue for the 2026 fiscal year. Superintendent Dr. Mike Daria and CFO Jay Duke say the revenue will allow the system to continue the improvement of funding because of the now expired federal COVID relief funds. School leaders say without the increase in funding through the property tax, millions would have to be cut from the future budget. I will be here at City Hall where results will be coming in, and we will have results coming up at 10. Live and local in Tuscaloosa, Jalen Barron, WVUA 23 News.
Jalen, thank you. Hale County College and Career Academy is helping address the dangers of underage drinking for middle school students. The academy held the Underage Under Arrest program today for Hale County and Greensboro Middle School 8th graders. They were educated on the choices of their decisions that could help or hurt them in the future. Now, one of the speakers lost her daughter to a drunk driver, and she wants the students to be aware of how their actions and surroundings could impact others.
I tell them about my daughter, and then I always let them know that everybody thinks it won't happen to them, but it can.
At this age, we're finding that our students are very influenced by what they see and by their peers. So getting education, getting proper education is very important at this age.
Underage Under Arrest is in its 11th year and has served more than 300,000 Alabama students. Well, the Tuscaloosa County school system is looking for new bus drivers. They're hosting a driver training course starting Tuesday, October 1st. Now, there is no cost to attend the training, and you don't have to have any prior experience. Now, there are immediate openings. The position offers insurance and retirement benefits. Work schedules are also aligned with the school calendar.
From our perspective is, bus drivers are the face of the school because they're the first thing the child sees in the morning that can dictate how their day goes, and they're the last thing the child sees in the afternoon to send them off with a great day or not so great day. So, in our county particularly, because we cover such a large area, if we didn't offer bus service, there'd be a lot of students, it'd be a hardship on parents to get their children to school.
For more information, you can go to tcss.net. You can also go to 205-342-2636. And we want to say welcome to our new neighbors here on campus at the Digital Media Center. University leaders held a ribbon-cutting ceremony this afternoon for the new Holly Center for Communications Arts. It's an incubator and collaborative space for modern storytelling for university students. The celebration also included a lunch and a tour of the center. A groundbreaking today for the city's new Springbrook Park. This project is part of Elevate Tuscaloosa. Once the work is done, they will be having a lighting and a security, a new walking trail, 2 new playgrounds, and a new covered seating area.
Every corner of Tuscaloosa speaks to my soul, but this one, I'm telling you, it's in my DNA. My first memories of a little boy was playing out here in this park.
And I'm super excited that we can dedicate this park, not only for District 7, but to the Springbrook community to remain a community park, right?
This $1.8 million project is expected to be completed by spring of 2025. Well, the first ever meeting today for a new civic club aimed at addressing problems in our community. It's called Unity Foundation, and members came together with potential stakeholders. The group's first project is combating a food shortage, and organizers know that's going to take some time, commitment, and funding.
Anybody who is interested at all or engaged and has capacity engaged in food scarcity and addressing that topic, we're going to get them in the room first. They're the experts on it, we're not. We will bring the standard process for addressing problems, and that is an industry accepted process worldwide, value stream mapping. And we're going to take that and apply it to the current capacity and those things that are utilized now to reach people.
And Newman says the next step will be to ask members what issue they would like to work on next. Well, coming up, Bama versus Georgia is in its biggest game of the year in the SEC, but securing game day tickets now may be a hassle and could set you up to become a scam victim. And ESPN's College Game Day will be in town this weekend. We'll have a list of events for this week's game at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Stick around. We are coming right back. A huge game this weekend when Alabama hosts Georgia at Bryant-Denny Stadium, but you need to beware of possible ticket scams. Many resellers post tickets on social media to offer to fans. However, there are risks that come with not using a legitimate broker or website. Carl Bates with the Better Business Bureau has a reminder to be cautious and some tips on how to avoid losing your money and your tickets.
The key is, will they take a credit card? A real credit card, not a debit card, not Cash App, not Venmo. Pay with a credit card. Use a legitimate service, one that you can verify online that they actually, have a website, they're legitimate, they have an office, they're, a national brand kind of thing that you're working for. And know the refund policy, or if there is a refund policy, it is.
Now, Bates says these football scams are at risk until December when football season is over. Well, football fans are preparing for the biggest SEC game of the year. ESPN's College Game Day with Nick Saban will be set up on the quad that morning. Champions Lane will open at 11:30. Road closures around the campus will begin at 2:30. Well, stadium gates will open at 4. The Walk of Champions begin at 4:30, and kickoff is at 6:30.
And watching Tropical Storm Helene move into the Gulf of Mexico. Look at that local forecast after the break. Stay with us. Hear my forecast every day on Rock 106.3 FM. We've got some kind of messy conditions down there this afternoon as Tropical Storm Helene gets very close to that camera site. The palm trees beginning to sway just a bit in a developing breeze and overcast there. Again, that is a live view right now. Let's go to our buzzard camera in Demopolis in North Marengo County. The buzzard's hanging out on top of the tower there. And noticeable breeze across the region looking off towards that Tombigbee River region. Plenty of sunshine currently in Demopolis. Boys, it's hot today, 90 right now in Demopolis and Marengo County. And 90 currently from Bryant-Denny here in Tuscaloosa, looking north from the stadium there towards University Boulevard now. And again, the winds out of the south around 9 miles per hour. We've got some showers and storms on the radar this afternoon. And again, that's a deal where it's not raining everywhere, but some of us getting some rainfall. Notice some portions of Marion County. Hamilton just poured there. They had a severe thunderstorm warning earlier for Marion and northern Lamar County. Still some rain falling in Sullivan at this hour. And some scattered rain showers near Vernon, but again, nothing heavy the further south you go. Temperature's quite hot where it hasn't rained today. Currently 90 Demopolis and Tuscaloosa. And again, some of the cooler locations like Haleyville, 81, but northwest Marion County, where it has rained, you are in the 70s now. Here's our forecast this evening. We'll all drop in the 70s by 10, 74 at 10, 71 at 1 a.m. just after midnight. Look at that forecast for tomorrow. Also some rain at times for tonight. Forecast tomorrow for Wednesday, a wet day expected. We'll stay in the 70s all day. So at least with the cloud cover and rain chance helping us out in terms of the temperatures out there tomorrow. Obviously watching the tropics. Here's Helene, and that camera you saw right there at Cancun. We've got some cloudiness, some showers and storms nearby. Winds at 50 miles an hour with Helene. Here's the latest track. Becoming a hurricane tomorrow. A major hurricane at landfall in that Big Bend region of Florida. That'll be Thursday evening. There are hurricane warnings for Indian Pass back towards Apalachicola and Cedar Key in that Big Bend region there. Storm surge in that part of the state could approach 15 feet there. But again, around the Alabama Gulf Coast back towards the Panhandle west of Panama City, no major impacts. Rain and windy, yes, but in terms of storm surge and very dangerous conditions not expected for Alabama's beaches are most of the Panhandle, which is good news there. That track moves inland and then weakens quickly with time there on Friday. And again, Saturday and Sunday as showers begin to move out of our region. So here's that forecast. Notice the rain chances will come up quite a bit for tomorrow. Many of us seeing between 1 and 2 inches of rainfall. Higher totals for the east to go. Thursday going to be a wet day, especially the eastern half of the state. West Alabama rain a little more scattered. And for the weekend, temperatures back in the lower 80s. Good news for football Saturday. Jabari looks like most of the rain will be gone.
That's good because, you know, that's a big Georgia, Alabama game.
Yes.
You want to rain-free and all.
Yeah, we don't want that. That'll make Gary happy.
That will make Gary happy. Let's see how happy Gary is now.
Well, I'm a little nervous. We got a game at Fayette County Thursday night now. I hope that one comes through for us, but we'll be ready. Coming up, Jalen Milroe leads Alabama on and off the football field. Plus, the Crimson Tide practice this morning in full pads. We'll have it for you next in WVUA 23 Sports. And welcome back. I'm Gary Harris. Make sure and join Rodney or and me tonight at 6:30 for Tider Insider TV right here on WVUA 23. Well, with a game of this magnitude, you can bet we'll have a jam-packed show for you as well. Well, Alabama football held its first practice of game week this morning. The Crimson Tide spent 2 hours in full pads on the Thomas Drew practice fields. The work started out at 9:10 a.m. and was the first practice this week as Alabama prepares for its highly anticipated matchup against number 2 Georgia at Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium on Saturday night. UA will return to practice tomorrow morning as preparations continue. The Crimson Tide and Bulldogs will kick it off shortly after 6:30 p.m. Saturday night, September 28th. Fans can watch all the action on ABC with Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, and Holly Rowe. This is a mega matchup, but Alabama's Tyler Booker says that's the norm in the SEC, so no need to make it bigger than it is.
There's a potential for the game to be a dogfight every single game, so you just have to make sure that your week of preparation is top tier, and you also have to make sure that you're ready for what the SEC presents. Like, SEC is a physical conference, it's a hard-nosed conference, it's everything that you want out of a football conference, so just playing the SEC, you got to be ready for that.
Well, not only is Jalen Milroe Alabama's quarterback, he's also a team captain and the leader of the offense. The other players look to him to make plays, but they also look to him to bring an aggressive and attack mentality to the football field. And Milroe obliges, but he also takes his cues from his head coach and pushes himself and his teammates to keep working to get better.
Number one, Coach DeBoer talks about relentless pursuit to continuous improvement. I think that's so important for our offense, for our team, is constantly look for ways to improve. And most importantly, we have 3 games to reflect from. So that's so important when it comes to our development as a group, is understanding that there's so much room to improve, you know.
Well, Georgia head coach Kirby Smart certainly saw Jalen Milroe up close and personal in the SEC championship game last December, and he knows full well how dangerous that number 4 can be for a defense.
Sometimes the worst thing you can do is cover everybody with him. And sometimes the best thing you can do is cover everybody. It just depends. Are you capable of getting him down on the ground and tackling him at times? What matchups do you have? He is as different a football player in college football as I've played against in a long time, because people think he's just a runner, and that's not the case. He has a tremendous arm and can do things with his arm that other people can't. He can reach spots on the field and get it there faster than you can break on it, better than most arm talent people. So it's a tremendous challenge to defend a guy like him.
Jabari, that's great analysis from one of the top coaches in the country. And certainly know this, Georgia's defense will be prepared. It's going to be the best defense that Alabama's faced to this point, maybe the best they'll faced all year.
Right.
And Jalen Milroe will need to play well because Georgia will have a great plan for him. And if they can contain Milroe, it increases their chances of winning the game. So he'll have to step up and make plays with his arm and with his legs.
Right. All right, Gary. Can't wait to see that one. Thank you. Stick around. We're coming right back. And coming up tonight on the news at 10, happening right now, UA students on campus protesting in support of Palestine, and legal woes continue to mount for music mogul Sean Diddy Combs as a new lawsuit was filed against him while already behind bars. We'll have those stories and much more tonight at 10 o'clock. A strange animal rescue as firefighters had to first figure out how to flip a deer stuck upside down before setting it free. Jeremy Roth explains in today's Take a Look at This.
Well, this is a new one. Firefighters had to think outside the box to help a deer found pinned upside down between a house and a garage in Oakland, California. In this video shared by the department, you can see the deer trapped topsy-turvy in the tight spot before officials used ropes tied to the animal's legs to slowly lift and turn it back right side up. They then carefully pulled the deer free from the cramped space. Then, making sure to first remove all the ropes from the exhausted animal's legs, they quickly backed away and allowed it to flee into the wild. A happy ending to a surreal rescue summed up perfectly by the department in a social media post. Another California critter in a cramped spot, this one in a couple's crawl space. The Department of Fish and Wildlife is using a night vision camera to keep an eye on a large black bear that has cozied up under the Sierra Madre home of Bob and Susan Nestler. They are hoping the bear will leave on its own, otherwise they'll likely have to give the burly brute the boot. In the meantime, the Nestlers have named their grizzled guest Junior and say they bear the bear no ill will.
We're not at all afraid of him. He's just an old bear. He needed a place to make into a den.
Finally, a tricky spot for rescuers in Florida who had to pull a driver from a car found precariously perched on a parking garage. Officials say the driver may have hit the accelerator by mistake, crashing the car through a fourth-floor barrier. Seemingly, the car was saved from plummeting by a tall tree that broke the fall. A woman was safely pulled from the dangling vehicle, which was then pulled back from the brink and towed away. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Well, it's not every day you see a Porsche in a tree.
That's a lot of money in that tree.
You don't see that.
Yeah.
And before we go,
Tyler Insider TV coming up at 6:30. We're loaded tonight, and Rodney and I will have our score predictions. And, you know, occasionally in these big games, I've picked against Alabama.
Right.
I'll do for it, but we'll find out tonight who Rodney and I like in the game on Saturday night.
And Richard, I mean, you know, of course, Gary and I would talk about it on the show, but I'm still not invited.
Yeah, well, Gary invited me Monday, and we'll talk all about it. Hey, let's talk about high school football. Gary, you're talking about Thursday night. There could be some rain as Helene is fairly close to our area, but the good news is for Friday night football, for most of those local high school games, the temperatures will be looking nice. Rain shower, still a possibility, but I think most of that will be out of here. And for the Bama-Georgia game, most of the rain gone. There could be a lingering shower. 6:30 kickoff, 78 at Bryant-Denny, and Auburn taking on Oklahoma down at Jordan Hare Stadium. 2:30 kickoff, temperature at that point around 80 degrees there.
All right, Rich, Gary, thank you. Well, that's it for us. Have a great evening.
See you.